Did you know that there was a time when Tom Brady sued the NFL? Could you imagine how the "you tried to sue us" card can always dangle over him? Here's the top 10 secrets Tom Brady doesn't want you to know. Donald Trump. Well, there's nothing wrong with supporting President Donald Trump. I mean, sure, he's far from the traditional picture of presidential and has an all-time low approval rating, but it's easy to see why he had so much support back in the day. It's also easy to see why he would be someone you would kick back and discuss sports or even golf with, beyond the fact that he owns numerous courses worldwide. Still, it isn't exactly good publicity to discuss how great of friends you are with Donald. That's why Brady, despite having a "Make America Great Again" hat in the locker room last year, decided to go into whether or not he was supporting Trump in his first ever presidential run. He acknowledged he was supporting him as a friend. His wife, however, outright denied the fact that she would vote for Trump and has since shared anti-Trump links all over Twitter. Brady, meanwhile, has appeared to fall in line with his wife as he conveniently skipped the Patriots' White House visit. The man of water slides. On the football field, Tom Brady looks cool as hell. Love him or hate him, the man has a passion for the game that is easy to pick up on. He's fiery and intense in his play calling, and when things don't go his way, he doesn't mind telling his teammates and coaches. That might rub some fans the wrong way, but given his track record, it's kind of hard to argue against his way of doing things. Quite simply, you just gotta respect the man. Off the field, it's a different story. While you have to respect his ability to throw the football, you can't do anything but laugh at the way in which he goes down water slides as shown above. The now iconic photo, along with his awkward high fives, is one of the ways in which Brady actually appears human. Although, we can't remember the last time we saw a grown man having so much fun on a water slide. His wife and kids troll him. During media day leading up to Super Bowl 55, Tom Brady spoke to reporters about what life is like in the Brady household. It turns out he's the main target for pranks in the family, and his wife and kids make fun of him in Portuguese. Quote, "Let me say this. My son, who is 10, his Portuguese is amazing," Brady told reporters. "My 8-year-old daughter is fluent in Portuguese. Unfortunately, their dad is way behind in his understanding on how to speak the language. I can usually understand a lot of things my wife will say, Papai no sabe no nada, which means daddy doesn't know anything. I usually get that a lot in the house. I know when they're speaking Portuguese kind of what they're saying, even if they're taking shots at their dad. Sometimes when I do use Portuguese words, my daughter will be like, 'Daddy, you sport Portuguese,' which is pretty great." His ad's been banned. As everyone knows, commercials are a big deal on Super Bowl Sunday and have been for quite some time. There's plenty of people who don't care about the actual game whatsoever and simply just tune in for the ads, which are often the best ones we see all year long. Well, as it turns out, one of the big spots that were set for Super Bowl 55 was a T-Mobile ad starring Tom Brady and Rob Gronkowski. The spot featured a fictionalized account of how the two ended up reuniting with the Buccaneers following some miscommunication between the two due to bad reception during a phone call. Now, the reason why we can all watch that hilarious ad now is that T-Mobile released it early due to the fact that they aren't being allowed to air it at all during Super Bowl 55. Sure, they're still getting some airtime, but they just can't run this particular spot. In a press release, T-Mobile stated that the Tom Brady-Rob Gronkowski ad had been quote-unquote banned from airing during Super Bowl 55 due to a protected telco rights deal, which one can only assume is a reference to the partnership that began in 2019 between the NFL and Verizon. Here's a look at a few excerpts of the release. Quote, "We made this amazing ad starring the amazing Tom Brady and Rob Gronkowski. Even after editing, the spot was still banned based on the protected telco rights deal. So watch and decide for yourself. What might the official telco sponsor not want you to see?" But it's not known if the ban came from the NFL or CBS. His wife is sleeping alone. Like many pro athletes, Brady tries to get as much sleep as possible to help his body recover. He says he goes to sleep at 8:30 during the week and then wakes up early to head to the team facilities. But according to Giselle, Brady will disrupt his normal sleep times, which will then leave the bed all to herself. Giselle once told Robert Kraft that she woke up at 3:30 one morning, discovered that Brady wasn't in the bed, and found that he was in his lab studying film. You know you've reached another level in preparation when you would rather watch a bunch of 300-pound men run around than sleep with the world's most beautiful woman. But I guess that's why Brady has 5 Super Bowl rings and you and I have absolutely 0. Before we continue, make sure that you like this video and subscribe to the channel if you love what we put out there, and also hit that post notification bell so you never miss another update from us. He sued the NFL. During the 2011 offseason, the NFL was involved in a work stoppage that lasted 4.5 months. The NFL owners, along with the NFLPA, could not agree on the terms of a new collective bargaining agreement, so the owners locked out the players from team facilities. And in return, the NFLPA filed an antitrust lawsuit against the owners in a federal court, and 10 players were named as plaintiffs in the suit. Tom Brady was among those 10 players, as were Drew Brees and Peyton Manning. So, the NFLPA bought out the big guns against the owners. The plaintiffs accused the 32 NFL teams of conspiring to deny the players' abilities to market their services with the lockout. Thankfully, the lockout ended before any regular season games were affected, and the plaintiffs approved the CBA settlement. But all of the NFL owners can always dangle the "you tried to sue us" card over Brady. Gentlemen's clubs. The best way for a rookie to integrate himself with the organization is by being a great player on the field and a great person off the field. But the best way for a rookie to integrate himself within the locker room is by going out and hanging with the guys. That's what a rookie Brady did in 2000, and he had his fullback and former Michigan teammate Chris Floyd tag along with him to the Foxy Lady Strip Club in Rhode Island. But as Floyd tells it, the then 23-year-old Brady wasn't the most comfortable person in the joint. Quote, "Everybody was loud and drinking beer and having fun," Floyd said, and Tom was sitting in the corner all quiet. It looked weird, but that was Tom. Giselle would be happy to know that Brady soon exchanged the trips to the strip club for playing an old Nintendo game with his teammates. Bad results. Believe it or not, there's actually a reason Brady dropped to the 6th round. Beyond the fact that he put up mediocre numbers with the University of Michigan in his 2 seasons as a starter, he had put on an awful display at the NFL Combine. By now, you have probably already seen his horrible dad bod, which he already had before entering the NFL, despite being in his 20s. That was how he looked at the Combine, which, according to Jay Cutler, is fine because you don't have to be in that great of a cardiovascular shape to play quarterback. According to Brady, this is what scouts said following his performance at the Combine. Quote, "Poor build, skinny, lacks great physical stature and strength, lacks mobility and ability to avoid the rush, lacks a really strong arm, can't drive the ball downfield, doesn't throw a really tight spiral, the system type player who can't get exposed if forced to ad-lib, gets knocked down easily." In their defense, his 5.2840 is still the slowest among today's starting quarterbacks, while he posted equally horrible results in other tests. His wife is richer. Brady's earnings may sound enormous, but they're actually nothing compared to his wife. Gisele Bündchen was the world's top earning supermodel for 10 consecutive years and is reportedly on pace to make $1 billion in career earnings. Brady buddy, are you okay? 2 years as a backup. Brady arrived in Ann Arbor as the 7th string quarterback for the Michigan Wolverines. He spent 2 years backing up future NFL quarterback Brian Grease before winning the battle against Drew Henderson to start under center during his junior season. Even after 2 successful years, Brady wasn't sure he would make it to the NFL, so he made a resume as a backup plan. What do you think about Tom Brady? Are you a big fan of him? Let us know in the comment section down below, and don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel, as well as hit the post notification bell if you want more stuff from us. Until next time, guys, we'll see you later.